أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي قص لنا من آياته عجبا وأفادنا بتوفيقه إرشادا وأدبا وجعل القرآن دافعا عنا مقتا وغضبا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له قيوم السماوات والأراضين بعث نبيه محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم رحمة للعالمين وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عبد الله ورسوله أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we thank the Almighty Allah for giving us another opportunity to be here today. We thank Him for His mercies that is bestowed upon us. We bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worship except the Almighty Allah. We also bear witness that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam is His servant and His messenger. Whosoever the Almighty Allah guides is really liable, and anybody who goes astray has nobody to blame but themselves. Today is a Friday which corresponds with the second day of Rabiul Awwal, 1443 years after the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It also corresponds with the 8th day of October 2021. Dr. Miles Monroe asked the question, where is the wealthiest place on planet Earth? Where can we consider to be the wealthiest place on the planet Earth? Someone might say the gold mines and the diamond mines of South Africa. Someone might say about the Deen. Islam is not only about being spiritual. Islam is a religion that deals with both spirituality and physicality. Islam deals with worshiping Almighty Allah, being spiritually upright, and at the same time being beneficial to the community that you find yourself in. Islam is a religion that teaches us that apart from you being upright Muslim, doing your necessary spiritual upbringing, the community also has something upon you that you must deliver to the community. You must be the kind of person that is beneficial both to Muslims and non-Muslims at the same time. And that is what Islam is all about. Islam is not a religion that puts you in a cage where you are only beneficial or useful to only Muslims. No, that is not what Islam is all about. The Prophet Muhammad was sent as a mercy for the whole of humanity. Everybody, Muslim, non-Muslim, whoever you are on the surface of the earth, the Muslim or Islam is a message to you. What have you contributed to the Deen? What has been your relationship with how well this Deen must be preserved and given to the next generation. Our fathers have done their best. They've left us on the Deen. We are here on a Jummah to come and pray. Not everybody comes. But then we have taken time out of whatever busy schedules we have to come to the Jummah, to come to the masjid, to have a prayer. What are we doing that the next generation will hand over the baton to them, so that when we die and then we are in our graves, they'll remember us that my father, my grandfather, my uncle was, a very, very strong stakeholder in the... What said, my problem with them is that I found them to be prostrating to the sun, apart from the Almighty Allah. What was concerned is that these people are not worshipping Allah. So how best is he going to help them to draw them closer to the Almighty Allah? That was Hud's whole ambition. Hudhud, a bird, was responsible for the Islamization of the whole community, of the whole nation. A bird was the catalyst that helped the people of Sheba to accept Sulaiman as the Nabi of the Almighty Allah and then accept Islam. What role are you playing in presenting Islam to non-Muslims? How do non-Muslims feel when they are closer to you? Do they feel the fragrance of Islam emanating from you? Or you are that person who you don't have time for them, you only have time for business, and you even go on further to cheat them because you think they are not Muslims, so let's just do whatever we can do with them and then we are going to Jahannam. Is that your ideology? Is that your attitude towards these people? What was concerned that these people are not worshipping Allah. So he is going through all means to try as much as possible to bring these people closer to the Almighty Allah. What about your relationship to other Muslims? Not even non-Muslims. Your relationship to your fellow Muslims, the Muslims that you are living in the same community with them, or at your workplace, or even in the masjid. How do you relate to people in the masjid? Is it that when you come into the masjid, you are so pious that nobody must come closer to you? You are so good that you don't have time for other Muslims. You don't smile to other Muslims because you find them sinful. You are the only classified Muslim in the list of the Almighty Allah. Do Muslims find comfort when sitting next to you? Do Muslims find peace when they get closer to you? Do Muslims have, what do you call, do Muslims find it accommodating sitting next to you? Or you're one of those people who is very, very quick to spend to brandish people to Jahannam? Let's be very, very careful the way we deal with our people. It's very, very important. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in dealing with some people, he didn't even say a word. No. His relationship with them brought them closer to Islam. Some people only heard of his attitude and they became Muslims. So those of us living in the West, we have a great task upon us in presenting the pure, pristine message of Islam. Because we are bombarded with all kinds of propaganda from left, right, center, everywhere, trying to paint Islam in a very bad manner. So those of us who are here, our da'wah, our jihad is to present Islam in a beautiful manner, to present Islam, a pristine Islam, so that non-Muslims, even if they don't accept Islam, when they hear what is being said on the media, propaganda against Islam, they will say, these people are joking. This is not the attitude of a Muslim, because I have a Muslim in our office, and that's not how he believes. So, Hudhud's contribution to the Deen is that he has contributed for the whole nation to accept Islam. What is your contribution to the Deen? Who have you ever discussed one verse or one hadith with on the Deen? Which non-Muslim of your office or your workplace has seen something about Islam that he has come to you to ask the question and then you've answered satisfactorily? Or you're waiting to pick the phone to call your Maulana or to call your Sheikh or your Mufti? The other end of this is that we must also learn our religion. It's very, very important. Especially those of us living here in the West. You need to learn your religion. It's very, very important. Because every single day an article is written against Islam. Every single day, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, every single day an article is being written against Islam. In a way to muddy the waters or to make the waters murky. So if you don't know your religion, you will just be thrown off guard, and then you will be eating something that you think is Islam, but it is not Islam. So in the first khutbah, I want you to think about what contribution have you made to the Deen? What contribution? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing a fundraising to go to war. So there was this Sahabi who didn't have anything to contribute. He went to the market and then hired himself as a laborer for some people, and then he got 1 dirham. And then he went back to the market and then he bought 2 bags of corn flour. He took one of the bags home and then he brought the other one to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد. We're speaking about Hudhud's contribution to the Islamization of the community, and how well have you contributed to bring Islam closer to Muslims alike and non-Muslims that we are living together with in the community. As we said in the preamble to the Khutbah, that Islam teaches us how to be good in the Deen and in the Dunya. We must be beneficial in the Deen and in the Dunya. Another example of another animal that was, very, very instrumental in helping other people was the ant in Surah Al-Naml. An ant, the smallest and the tiniest of animals. She was outside, and then she saw the soldiers. And then when he gets here, he and his soldiers are going to trample upon you without them knowing that you are around. An ant was concerned about the safety of its community. An ant was concerned about the survival of the people around it. How well are we concerned about the survival and the safety of the people that live around us? Or we are all minding our businesses, I don't care. So long as my house is not on fire and someone else's house is on fire, I don't care. Let the house burn down. It's not near me. Is this the attitude that we have? So long as other people's children are going astray and mine is safe, I don't care. Let them go astray. Is that the mentality that you have? Islam is a communal religion. Islam has nothing to do with each man for himself, God for us all. It is not an Islamic thing. Islam doesn't know that. Islam doesn't know that at all. Islam is a communal religion. It's a communal system. If your son is going bad, my son is going bad. If your son is doing good, then it's my son too is doing good. That is the love and the brotherhood that Islam teaches us. Like if you're only concerned about your family, you, your wife, your kids, and your dog, no, that's it. You are the ones who must survive. Everybody else must die. Then rethink your understanding of Islam. It's very, 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 very important. مثل المؤمنين في تودهم وتراحمهم وتعاطفهم كجسد واحد إن اشتكى عضو تداعى عليه سائر الأعضاء بالسحر والهمم. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the similitude, the example of the brotherhood, of the love, of the concern that Muslims enjoy each other is like that of the whole body. If a part of the body is sick, the rest of the body gets fever. So the ant in Surah Al-Naml is teaching us humanity a lesson that she is very much concerned about the safety of her community. She has seen those soldiers coming. She could have just entered her hall and then forget about everybody else and everybody else dies. But she says, no, my community is very, very important. Irrespective of whoever is within the community, whether they are Muslims or not, and they need help, I must give them help. Whether they are Muslims or not, and then they are in danger, I need to help them. The community is very, very important in Islam. That is why in Islamic Sharia, you have the whole community in there. We have the Muslims, we have Ahlul Dhimma, we have Al-Musta'man, we have all these people in there. Some non-Muslims are found within our Sharia. Yes. It's not every kafir who is a kafir in our Sharia. Let's understand that. It's very, very important. Not every kafir is a kafir. No. We have categories of kuffar in Islam. We have some people we call Ahlul Dhimma, people who are under the protection of the Islamic State. If you are Muslims who are within the Islamic State, then they are under the protection and the patronization of the Islamic community. No Muslim must attack them. And even during the time of Prophet Muhammad, they were there. The time of Abu Bakr and Umar, they were there as well, non-Muslims within the Islamic community. And they needed help, and the Muslim community gave them help. So the fact that we are minorities here doesn't mean that there are Muslims throughout, we categorize them into one book, and then all of them. No. Let's be beneficial to the community. Wherever you live, let the people know that yes, there is a Muslim in his house, and then he is very, very, very strong in the community. He contributes positively to the socio-economic development of the community. Be someone like that. Well, it's very, very important that you become a very, very positive, contributing member to the community. Don't be a destructive force in the community. Don't be the kind of person in the community that even Muslims are scared to come next to you. Don't be the kind of person that even in the masjid, when you enter the masjid, people are afraid to come and sit next to you or stand next to you because you have a very, 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 very bad judgmental attitude where you think you are the only correct Muslim and all of us are fake. It's an attitude that Muslims, especially we, the up-and-coming young ones, must be very, very mindful of. Those of us up-and-coming young ones must be very, very mindful. Yes, the fact that we read one hadith, one ayah, one book, doesn't mean that everybody else is stupid. Let's understand that. Sometimes young people, because of the accessibility we have towards knowledge, because of the internet boom, we've read one book or two books and then we think everybody else is stupid. So we go about brandishing our judgmental points and then sending people anyhow we want. That's not right. Wallahi, if your religiosity makes you unapproachable, then please have a look at the way you practice Islam. Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when you come into the masjid, if you don't know him, you wouldn't know it is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People give him their trust. People give him money for safekeeping to survive. He said, "Nafsi laka fida ya Rasulullah." He said, "I'll use my life to sacrifice for Allah ya Rasulullah." What is going to happen? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "You see this big box over there? These are the trust that the people of Makkah have given to me for safekeeping. When they come in the morning, give this to so and so, give this to so and so, give this to so and so, give this to so and so," before he left. He could have picked everything and gone to Medina with it, but the people trusted him, even though they didn't believe in the message, but then they trusted in his qualities, they trusted in his lifestyle, they were ready to give their goods to him for safekeeping, even though they didn't believe in his message. How well has this translated in your life and my life? How well is the community safe from my evils and your evils? The hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Al-Muslimu man salima al-Muslimuna min lisanihi wa yadihi." The Muslim is the one that the Muslims are safe from the evils of his tongue and then the evils of his hands. Young men that you are listening to us, and young women, how safe is the community from your message, the mouth, the tongue, the kind of words that you use? Do you use swear words? Do you use the F word as a Muslim? Is that the kind of language you use? How safe are people from the evils of your hands? Do you pick people's pockets? Do you break people's windows? Do you break people's cars to pick whatever money they have in there? Wallahi, no. Whatever action you do, you're going to be questioned on the day of Qiyamah, irrespective of whoever you are. Our khutbah, in a nutshell, is what contributes very, very harsh on people because you disagree with them, or you are tender and caring and loving and accommodating of people. And then when you go to correct them, you correct them in the best ways that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us. I'm not saying that people are not wrong. No. And I'm not saying we don't have evil people. No. I'm saying that because some people are evil, that doesn't mean you should be evil in return. That's what I'm saying. The fact that someone is doing something wrong doesn't necessarily mean that you should do wrong to equate whatever wrong that person is doing. Find ways of correcting people, even if they are the staunchest of enemies. That in the end, even if they don't accept Islam, they have some positive message to give about Islam. Finally, how well are you a positive person to the community? How do you contribute to the socio-economic development of your community? How well is the community very, very reliant on you because they know that this is the go-to guy? If you want things done in the community, this is the go-to guy. How well are Muslims and non-Muslims alike willing to knock on your door and say, I need help with this, and I was told you are the go-to guy, and the person is comfortable coming to you for that. Wallahi, know that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, when you plant a tree, and even animals eat from that fruit, wallahi, you are rewarded. So how much more, metaphorically, how much more have you contributed, and your fruits are being eaten by Muslims, non-Muslims, animals, and everybody else. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاكتبنا مع الشاهدين. ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. قوموا إلى صلاتكم ورحمكم الله. Switch it off, okay?